Well, if everyone is ready, we'll go ahead and jump back into simply another band of curiously odd travelers. Last time our party had left one of the most dangerous places in the city of Drakenheim, the Castle Draken, surrounded by the deep haze, numerous spirits, abominations, and a plethora of other imminent dangers. You snuck out through a service entrance guided by the trap steward, Johann Eisner, at the base of the primary pillar just below the throne room. But having found the location of the crown of Drakenheim, the symbol of the monarchy in this region, and quite possibly one of the most powerful artifacts on the continent, after descending down, avoiding the gargoyles that patrol the upper walls of Castle Draken, you headed past the dilapidated remains of the Black Ivory Inn that you all were trapped in not but a few days prior. Through King's Gate, you headed back towards the cosmological clock tower in the center of the heart of Drakenheim for an attempted reprieve. Unfortunately, you found yourselves lost among the deep haze surrounding what you later found yourselves in, if not the most dangerous, but quite possibly the second most dangerous place in all of Drakenheim, Slaughterstone Square. The primary resident of the entity known as the Executioner, a massive construct created by the Amethyst Academy nigh 150 years ago. An entity immune to a variety of spells and other attempts at altering or debilitating it, as its primary function in this location, this city, was to dispatch those who were deemed criminals too severe to keep alive. The final form of martial law here in the city of Drakenheim. Hundreds, if not thousands, of souls lost their lives in that location over the years of Drakenheim's continued prosperity. Now the entity runs wild on its instinctive protocol to dispatch any and all who pass into that location. You manage to flee there, but not without many long-lived scars, both mental and physical. Now you must continue towards the cosmological clock tower because you are on a timer before the Aqua Expurgo, the only thing keeping you from expelling the remnants of the deep haze and incapacitating you. That time frame is quickly dwindling. You have likely no more than about 2.5 hours before you must reach a safe haven or succumb to the recoiling effects of Aqua Expurgo. After escaping Slaughterstone Square and the Executioner, you have probably a half mile or more to get to the clock tower, but you are in the densest, possibly one of the more dangerous parts of the city, south of Old Town and south of Slaughterstone Square. With a quick look around, you're able to determine that you are not too far from the Dran River if you see the ping on the map. You can see the Dran River not too far south of where you are, maybe about 200-300 yards now. You see one of the bridges that seems to be covered with debris, and you see large shadows moving and lumbering across it, unsure of what they are.
Nope.
If anyone would like to give me a perception check, they're welcome to do so to see if they can discern with more accuracy what these creatures are. But with that, what would you all like to do?
So
I got your perception right here.
yeah.
Oh, I rolled for it too.
Let's
you
see
got?
it. Let's see it. Oh my
That's
god.
better than mine.
Oh my god.
I perceive it with my third eye, bitch.
I was about to say I got a cool 24 for you,
Oh shit.
Sir.
and you roll up with a 26, not 20. All right, go, you got it, man.
So you both easily perceive what these entities are. You see a trio of large creatures bordering on huge. They are bipedal by nature, but with a bovine slant to their appearance. These are 3 minotaurs.
Fuck you, man.
Minotaurs?
Minotaurs.
Jesus Christ.
Each of them carrying a more gruesome weapon than the last. The first, a massive maul, an extended bludgeoning weapon with spikes scoured across, and large, what look like railroad nails driven through a piece of the end of the lumber. A gruesome weapon in and of itself. The next, a massive chipped great axe, probably as big, the axe itself, the blade, as big as your torso, Cedric. The last carrying a large, loose flail with 2 heads on it. And with that natural 20, Tim, you've seen this flail before. It is the same, 3-headed flail that you saw in the hands of another disturbing entity here within the city of Drakenheim. This was that same weapon carried by the Lord of the Feast that you dispatched in front of the Temple Ward, in front of the Cathedral of St. Vitruvio. It is now in the hands of one of these minotaurs. And you see them just slowly lumbering and patrolling this bridge like a disturbing trio of tax collectors up and down this bridge. You see the shattered remains of multiple Garmir, the wolf-like creatures that formerly used to patrol this entire mid to southern region of the interior portion of Drakenheim. But these Minotaurs have made quick and easy work of these Garmir. You see the bodies are just crushed or ripped apart in multiple pieces and just scattered about the bridge or flung over the side and now drift lazily and lifelessly through the Dran River. With that information, what would you like to do?
Well, I mean, first off, what the hell, man?
Hey, you like that description?
Oh.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I guess I definitely don't want to go anywhere near them if that's possible, but I don't know if that's the case. So
They're on the bridge, you said?
Yes, they're kind of walking back and forth across the bridge, almost like toll collectors, like watching.
They're just chilling.
They don't seem to have noticed you. They've recently dispatched a group of Garmir that were trying to pass across this bridge, and now are either flung into the river or are just shattered into pieces across the bridge where you guys can see them here. The majority, 2 of them are right in the center, and then there's one that's further down towards the southern edge of this bridge across the Dran River. You can see there's just debris scattered all over this thing. Broken carts, bones of various, hard to say what at this point. Look like they've been picked clean by these Minotaurs. And likely the remains of these Garmir are not long to follow in becoming their next meal.
I would prefer to avoid them. if possible. Do we, Stopper? I don't know if you remember. Do we still have the Pass Without a Trace? I don't remember when we actually like.
I think you re-upped it when you left the encounter with the Executioner, so I would say it's probably still up. Because it lasts, what, 10 minutes or 20 minutes?
1 hour.
1 hour, okay. Yeah,
one
then
hour
it should,
with concentration.
Yeah, and you haven't encountered anything else that would have broken that concentration, so I would imagine it's still up.
Got it. I couldn't remember when we actually had used it or anything like that, so at least we still have that stealth-wise.
Right.
Cool.
And I would say with that natural 20, I will give you all the benefit of advantage if you're trying to sneak past these creatures. Having seen them long before they see you. But if you were to head back the other way, it would take a little bit longer to head towards your destination, and you would get a bit dangerously close back towards Slaughterstone Square.
Sure. I don't know about you guys, but I would like to avoid Slaughterstone Square as much as possible. Even if it's 3 Minotaurs. And so I would prefer to just like creep in.
I'm down to creep.
Do the creep?
Especially with advantage.
Do the
it's a
creep.
straight roll.
Aw.
Yeah, especially with like all of us just basically having straight rolls at that point. Plus 10.
Right.
I like our chances personally.
Okay.
We're gonna creep.
All right. If I could get a group creep check, please.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay. Let's see. Stealth. I've got 6 and 2.
That comes
Plus
through.
So.
Yeah, and don't forget to add 10 to your final roll.
It's
Okay.
nice check.
Oh.
Hold on.
Disadvantage absolutely cocked me.
No, not
No,
really, because you
No,
got
'cause you gotta-
18.
No.
Well,
Oh,
it's-
okay.
Well,
No,
we
no,
get
you have
advantage on this
advantage.
roll.
Yeah, so you take the higher amount, not the lower amount, Spudley.
So we all
Oh,
have disadvantage on our stuff, so they cancel. So it's just a
It's a
straight. That's
straight
what. That's what. It's just a
Okay.
straight roll. So whether the 22, which is a 32, or the 8, which is an 18, is first.
Got it.
You know.
Oh, the 22's
You're good.
first, so that's fine.
Yeah, the 22's
Nah,
first.
laughing.
Yeah,
Sweet.
we'll take the 22. I'll give you the benefit of that one.
Yeah, my roll's not
Sorry,
coming
my bad.
through. I don't know why.
Okay.
But
All good.
I'll have to figure it out. But it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
22.
Okay. I'm going to roll a perception check here. I don't imagine that they're going to likely see you here. But this is going to be they're not actively looking, so this will be at disadvantage.
Thank you, DM.
You're welcome. It's so I can do fucked up things later and you can't complain about it.
I have a short memory.
I am goldfish.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Okay. Okay.
You're really underestimating my ability to complain.
All right. So with their perception, that's only like a 14, which I don't think any of you guys rolled below that with your.
No.
So we're good there. You all do the creep through one of the back alleys, stepping through a broken fence between some of these old estate areas. You can see a lot of these have interior courtyards to them, larger, more this was a very affluent neighborhood. Sorry, I had a complete brain fart there. A very affluent part of the city in Old Town. Some very old money, if you will, in this location. So some of these estate homes are, although very beaten up and very dilapidated from time, were once, the finest homes in the city in this region. Some fantastically beautiful 2 and sometimes even 3-story estate houses with these large interior hacienda-style courtyards in the middle. As you pass along this area, you get far enough away that you feel confident that even if these minotaurs were to see you, you would be able to outrun them before they could catch up to you and put some distance through. So you have successfully avoided alerting these minotaurs that pass over the Dran River Bridge. What would you all like to do from here?
I don't want to waste any time.
Okay, there we go. It's working now.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to waste any time either. I want to just get to the thing so I'm not puking in the streets.
Yep.
I mean, you're close enough to the river. You could feed the fishes, or at this point, with all the contamination, it might not be
Fuck
fish in that river.
No.
Yes. With your stealth check, you guys are able to pass through without much concern that you're making good time, and your pass without a trace gets you most of the way there until you can see atop the rooftops the urban rangers of the Hooded Lanterns come into view. As a handful of them don't spot you, but there's one observant individual that does begin to see you at a distance coming across, but with good memory and good recognition spots you quite quickly. You are quite a unique group of individuals here in Drakenheim, and with a good rapport with the Hooded Lantern. You can see that he silently, you hear like a whistle pass over as it alerts, or as this individual alerts a number of the other Hooded Lanterns in this area, and they begin to sort of cordon off and direct you towards a pathway through these larger former estate homes towards the Cosmological Clock Tower without too much effort. As you come up on the clock tower, a familiar and welcome sight, to say the least. Give me just a moment so I can find the location. Is it? This is what happens when you've been playing a campaign for 3 years. You forget where all the scenes are. Have it here somewhere. Where are you? Ah, there it is. Got it. A familiar sight of the Cosmological Clock Tower, still affixed with the hour and the minute hand. And the outer planes clock you can see is fixed between the plane of chaos and or between pandemonium and limbo, as it was prior. The face of the clock, as you remember, Giorgio, has been broken for nigh over 100 years at this point. Affixed in a very strange location, but up until this point, you haven't quite figured out what that means or what it entails. But it's one of those mysteries of the city of Drakenheim that has been around even before the fall of the meteor. But nevertheless, you come up towards the barricades, the urban rangers stepping aside, welcoming you in. A couple of them saluting you, Giorgio, as you pass into the lower levels of the clock tower and up the long winding stairs, nearly 120 feet upwards. And after such a strenuous day in Castle Draken, as well as coming toe-to-toe with one of the most frightening entities in the city, the Executioner, it is a long walk. But nevertheless, you come up past the cloudy marine layer of the haze, and you get the cool, fresh air of the gentle, rainy skyline as you look down on Drakenheim. You are safe for the time being.
Ooh.
And just in time, as your Aqua Expurgo shortly thereafter leaves you doubled over and puking your guts up.
Perfect.
As you expel a
Yucky.
delightful spray of prismatic octarine vomit. But after an hour or so, you are fairly certain you've got most of it out of your system. Getting used to, not entirely, but getting
hour.
used to, it's an hour.
An hour of fucking puking.
Yeah, just like an arcane hangover. It just doesn't want to go away.
Ugh,
But
gross.
it's better than being God knows what without the protection inside the deep haze. As some of you have already discovered, as you've felt the mutating effects of the haze on multiple occasions.
Yeah, it's really chill though, honestly.
What?
But nevertheless, you are provided some rations, some warm porridge by some of the urban rangers here stationed at the Cosmological Clock Tower, as they fill you in on there's an upcoming meeting with Elias Drexel and some of his lieutenants within the next 24 hours, as they expected you all to be back this afternoon, but they are in the process of relaying the information that you are currently stationed up here at the clock tower, and that you'll be given an escort back to the barracks in the morning. Is there anything you'd like to discuss or do? You have a few more hours before it gets into the deepest part of the night, but you can see that the sun is beginning to wane rapidly on the horizon, even at this elevation.
I do think, like amongst ourselves, a conversation to be had about what we're going to tell these people. Because part of me, knowing that we've been duped before and like held hostage by that command spell or whatever it was, right? If we are able to hide the fact that we found the crown, right? Then if, like, I guess vice versa, if we talk about the crown, right, somebody's going to find out, it's going to leak, and because right now nobody knows where it is, right? Like, we're pretty sure it's there, but nobody knows where it is, and people have tried to find it and haven't been able to get far enough in. If we go in and we say, hey, look, we went all the way to the throne room, we were looking everywhere, we couldn't find it, we didn't have enough time to keep looking because Aqua Expurgo is going to run out. We want to go back, but you know, we need a little break, right? Then for the next few days, presumably, that wouldn't get out if nobody knows, right? As opposed to saying, hey, we found it, and then like before we can go back, all of a sudden,
Yeah, forces.
Big Bad Lady's, now that she knows, it's worth sending everybody, you know,
Right.
to go and get it, and then has the crown for the seals and has to just wrestle 2 more out of us. Don't like that. So
Right.
I
Yeah,
didn't really
I
think through
agree.
exactly how to build the lie, but I think under no circumstance we should be telling anyone at all that the crown is there.
No, I totally agree with that.
As you all recover from the recoiling effect of the Aqua Expurgo and discuss what you should do upon arriving back at the barracks, is there anything else you'd like to discuss? Review items you'd like to take a look at that you previously didn't have time to do in the heat of the moment before you hunker down for a long rest?
You said we're meeting with them at the barracks like tomorrow.
Correct. There's a scheduled meeting with some of the higher ranking officers at the barracks tomorrow.
I'm sure they know to leave us the heck alone right now.
Yeah.
I would imagine you see that after your, fit of vomiting, and not every urban ranger or member of the Hooded Lanterns has seen the effects of Aqua Expurgo, but a few of them have seen it or heard about it at this point and begin to put two and two together pretty quickly, like what was going on, as they see you vomiting up, like a disco ball in various capacities. So it takes a moment. It is shocking to a couple of them, but after, a bit of discussion, people are like, oh, ooh, that does not look good. You just like kind of see that like, ooh, yeah, definitely don't want to experience that.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think it's best if we just don't even like interact with the people outside of just like base pleasantries. We don't even like let on that, what we've seen, what we've done. Like, we try to keep it as hush hush as possible.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else that you all would like to discuss or review or do before you take your rest here in the upper portions of the cosmological clock tower, you all swiftly succumb to your fatigue, passing out in the various bunks here now placed in the upper portions of the clock tower. As the fresh air overcomes your minds and allows you to swiftly step into a slumbering deep sleep, and you all can take a long rest as the night overtakes the sun.
Finally.
The early morning hours, just before dawn, you find yourselves awoken by a young man, one of the Hooded Lanterns. You can see, like their name suggests, you see them carrying a lantern, and beginning to wake you all as he directs your attention to a small envoy that has begun to station up along the rooftops, heading back towards the barracks. This unit will show you back to the barracks. If you need anything, just holler out. They'll be watching along the way. They'll be transitioning from station to station until you reach the outer walls of the barracks. Before you all head in that direction, or if you intend to go someplace else, what would you all like to do?
I don't know if there's anything in particular that I can think of. What you got?
The only thing that I would be interested in, and I don't know if they would have them here, is looking to try to get more aqua aspergo, since we'll have to go back into the haze at some point. 'Cause I think we expelled all of them, right?
Yeah, I think you used your only allotment that you had. We don't have that here, but there are members of the academy that would be able to procure you some of this, some more doses back at the barracks. It's just not something we keep here. We typically try to avoid the deeper parts of the haze. At least without a larger contingent, which would require more doses. It's just not worth the potential loss. Not without good reason, of course.
Yeah, it's a good call. Would not recommend it. But thank you for that information.
Of course.
I don't think I need anything else.
Yeah, I'm good to.
Yeah, same. I think I'm alright.
Okay. The young man marks upon your map the route that they've set up for you all back from the clock tower, heading down towards the southern edge of the market square here from the clock tower, down towards the middle ward and the temple ward, just northeast of the large cathedral, St. Vitruvia, almost into the cathedral square, but then heading up towards the middle ward, trying to stick to the main roads if possible, and just an open view of you all, allowing for this area. And you can see that there's, lanterns kind of scattered about, at least in your immediate view, almost, a good half mile out. You can see small scattered lights across the rooftops in this area as it's become more heavily patrolled by the hooded lanterns, as they've now completely removed any remnants of the Garmir in the Temple Ward area. But as you begin to head outwards down this route, you can see that at least in the market square area, that the hooded lanterns have begun to clean this up as much as possible and begin setting up barricades and temporary lodgings in this region, cleaning up any remnants of abominations or any type of unwanted activity within a lot of these former financial buildings of Market Square. You can see some of the remnants of the dregs being piled up and burned so that the corpses don't reanimate within the haze, as they have a bad habit of doing in Drakenheim. There's also, you can see what you do notice as you pass just outside Market Square, I would say towards the southwestern corner of it, you can see one of these large piles, and there's not an insignificant amount of rattling corpses that have been dispatched by the hooded lanterns in this region, more so than you've seen prior to the removal of the Garmir. Like a very large number, in fact, on some of these piles. You haven't seen this many rattlings since your earliest days here in the city of Drakenheim, going into the Rat's Nest Tavern. It's a bit unsettling, but it seems as you kind of look through here, without any type of predator to diminish their numbers, the rats have kind of grown in both size and quantity over the past few weeks, since the removal of the Garmir and the Lord of the Feast.
How close is this to the like rat hole that we were at previously?
The Rat's Nest Tavern was up at number 6. So it was outside the walls.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you've seen, now you've seen groups of ratlings and other rat-like creatures scattered all about the city, including ones that you definitely did not see prior to the fall of the Lord of the Feast. Ratlings that could only vaguely be called rats at this point, as they are large creatures that have been heavily disfigured and, mutated by the growing haze in some of the regions that they occupy.
Damn, these rats be fucking.
You do vividly recall the entity calling himself the Rat Prince, stating that they would feed and they would make more, in a less vulgar description, after entering into the Rat's Nest Tavern and the caverns below, where you found your first experience with a large chunk of delirium. Now, all those weeks ago, that seems almost trivial by comparison to some of the large crystals or structures of delirium you've seen in other parts of the city, where the delirium itself is the size of a fully grown man. Almost like it seems to be growing in pockets of the deeper parts of the haze. You have noticed that the outward perimeters of the haze itself seems to be expanding from the core segments here in Drakenheim, specifically around the crater.
Mm-hmm.
That the haze seems to be expanding. As you head now into the Temple District, you can see the large Cathedral of St. Vitruvio, the beautiful Gothic architecture of the cathedral, always just a sight to behold, but also a grim reminder of the fall of the city. Although beautiful, it can be corrupted just as easily. Like many things here in the city of Drakenheim. Just a moment here. I'm trying to find... Did I not put up a scenic view of the cathedral? I thought I did. Maybe I didn't.
The Cathedral of St. Vitruvio?
Yeah, I thought I had a scene of it, but maybe I didn't.
I could have swore you did.
I thought I did too. Maybe it was just the battle map, but I thought I had a scene of it. Maybe I didn't. Oh. Yeah, because I see the cathedral, but I don't see any scene of it. Anyway, you can see the large dome, a very classic reminder, the central dome, the glass dome, designed to bring in light from the outside, much like the sacred flame, almost like a beacon, the sun itself bringing in light to dispatch the shadows and the darkness, as if when it hits these roofs, it's designed to just scatter light all throughout the cathedral. But in Drakenheim, it always seems like a cloudy day ever since the fall of the meteor, and the sunlight rarely shines here anymore. Almost as if nature itself has forsaken this city. But for those of you who have spent time in other parts of the continent, you know that this is a classic architectural reminder of the Church of the Sacred Flame. Larger cathedrals like those all the way south in Illyria, or in the the central parts of the continent. In fact, let me pull up the continental map here. In the free cities of Luberio, you know there's a large church here, almost due south of where Drakenheim is, over the Glimmer Mountains. The free cities, not a part of Illyria, Caspia, or Westamar. There's a massive, massive cathedral that dwarfs even the Cathedral of St. Vitruvio. And in the capital city of Lumen, in the country of Illyria, the theocracy, you know that there's an even larger cathedral for the Sacred Flame. But here in the heavily forested portions of Westamar, it seems as if Mother Nature herself has forsaken this region. As you follow the escort now northwest up the middle ward, you begin to see a denser contingents of hooded lanterns. Compared to your trek from Castle Draken, this almost seems like a light, casual jaunt back to the barracks. As you get closer and closer to the Shepherd's Way, and of course, just inside Shepherd's Way, the barracks of the Hooded Lanterns, you come across the large portcullis gates on the southeastern corner of the barracks. And you can see that already the Hooded Lanterns are beginning to operate more and more like a military organization by the day, more so than just the ragtag sort of militia that they had diminished into over the years, but now are beginning to bolster their ranks with success after success, with your group at the spearhead of these many endeavors. Now the controlling interests of this group, formerly the Royal Guard, is beginning to become more reminiscent of that former military glory and design of their predecessors. As you enter into the barracks, you see that the blacksmiths are hard at work fixing and or working on new armaments, weapons. You can see that passing through, even more so than before, you recognize this, Tim. Members of the Amethyst Academy are passing to and from. You would imagine heading on their way towards the Inscrutable Tower, using this as a stop-off point between here and Emberwood Village. But you can see closer to the, I would say the southern or even the western edge of the barracks, the Portcullis Gate and Shepherd's Way, you can see the large towers, where the offices of the commanding officers are, including Elias Drexel and his two lieutenants, Petra and Ansem Lang, and adoptive children of Elias. You can see the three of them are discussing with a number of other individuals. You can see that the Hooded Lanterns generally have this forest green color to them, but a couple of the officers, including Ansem, Petra, and Elias, have donned a different color scheme. A color scheme, Giorgio, you haven't seen in many, many years. These are the colors of the former Royal Guard. They still brandish the Hooded Lantern emblem, but like those you see on the flags and the image here, but you can see the color coding has changed a little bit for some of the officers. More reminiscent of the Drakenheim Royal Guard. As you step back through the gates, what would you all like to do?
I'm assuming the coloring of their garb would have like no sort of significance to me as far as them having the same color scheme as like the Royal Guard.
Are you proficient in history?
I believe I am not. No.
You probably wouldn't know the significance of the color scheme, having never been here to Drakenheim in the past. That you wouldn't really recognize that this was some other color scheme without, or some past color scheme of the city of Drakenheim without something pointing it out to you.
Okay.
I would say the only person among you that might recognize it immediately would be you, Giorgio, having seen it in the past.
Mhm.
Recognizing these colors of the former Royal Guard.
Yeah.
As you enter into the barracks, is there anything in particular you'd like to do first, or others you'd like to speak to, business you'd like to conduct? You can see that there is the commanding officers are all beginning to gather in a sort of selective group near the officers' quarters and meeting halls.
No, I'm good actually.
I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I think I'm okay too.
Yeah, I'm definitely good.
Okay. After you enter deeper into the courtyard of the barracks, you can see at a distance Elias has already clocked your group entering in. Cedric and Giorgio, you stand significantly taller than other individuals, as well as you, Chugrulk, to an extent as well. But your two Goliath frames stand above and are fairly easy to spot at a distance. As he says a few words to Ansem and Petra, and then begins to approach your group. And behind that, you can see just inside one of the doorways, Tim, you see Eldrick Runeweaver is present here as well. You don't see any other familiar members of the Academy, but you do see Eldrick present in this moment. But he seems to be keeping a distance and just observing, waiting for the officers to collect themselves in this area. As this is going on, Elias steps forward to you all. I see that you've made it back in one piece. I hope your endeavors to the castle were fruitful.
Unfortunately not.
It's a shame to hear, but I'd like you to explain in more detail, of course, when we're in a bit more private of a setting, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, I should have everyone here now that you've arrived. We're going to conduct business up in my office. As he asks you all to follow him towards the offices where you've now had multiple discussions about plans here within the city. Do you all follow?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You follow Elias, accompanied by Petra and Ansem, towards the doorway of the offices, where you see Eldrick waiting there as well. And before the four of them pass through the doorway, Eldrick looks to you, specifically Chugrulk. If you don't mind, there's always a security concern as to who might be listening, whether they stand to us face to face or choose to hide their true form. If you wouldn't mind giving us a bit of certainty as to whom is being truthful by drawing that blade of yours, Master Chugrulk.
I mean, I have nothing to hide, but I'm gonna look over to the rest of the party and just kind of like, I guess, like, send a confirming glance.
Mechanically, how does it work? Above the table, sorry.
When he draws the blade, Ignatius, the holy sword of the sacred flame, it casts a zone of truth around it, as if the zone of truth was being cast by a cleric or a paladin. So you would need to succeed against the, if you intend to try to speak anything untruth, you would need to succeed the charisma save.
We can automatically fail.
You can choose
if
to
we wanted
fail.
to.
Yeah. And Chugrulk
But
will
we have to roll
know.
to succeed.
Yeah.
Chugrulk's the only one who knows.
Correct. Correct. Only the caster, in this case, it would be Chugrulk, and of course, Ignatius, being sentient, would know who did and did not fail.
Hmm. And what's the DC?
Give me just a moment. Does it say on the item listing?
Yeah, I'm just
I
having a
think
look
it
now.
does.
DC 20.
Is it DC 20?
DC
What?
20.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I
Holy.
didn't think it was that high.
Since when? I forgot about that. Oh
Yep.
shit.
And it
When
is a
Ignatius
charisma
cast
save, correct?
Zone of Truth spell save at DC 20 and maintains concentration on it so that you don't have to.
Got it. So yeah, it's DC 20.
That's crazy. Okay.
And I think Zone of Truth is charisma save, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah. It'd be
So keep going. Sorry.
No. I was finished. What were you gonna say?
So you know who? Does he know? Would he know the difference between someone intentionally failing it and
The other
trying
thing is
to
as
pass
well,
the check?
No,
So
you
let me
would
throw
not.
this-
You just know yes or no.
but the other thing is, I guess, like, the sword's purpose is to expose all deception and reveal the truth. It does not tolerate falsehood, deception, or lies. So, like, I guess, like, that's the thing. Like, I would know, but I'm not sure how I would play it with that also being a thing.
Right. But no,
Um,
mechanically speaking, you wouldn't know if somebody chooses to fail or just
Yeah,
fail.
so they're not telling the truth or
Correct.
By immediately triggers a conflict. What is that?
Yeah, well, it also says it responds with wrathful fury, and if the wielder speaks a lie, it immediately triggers a conflict. So
What is it? So what is that? What does that mean? I'm sorry. Just like the.
That I will say is up to GM interpretation,
yeah,
Okay.
as it has been in the past.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to think, like, because it says if the wielder speaks a lie, so it doesn't prevent us from lying, right? It just lets
No, I've lied before.
it just lets Chugrulk know.
Correct.
Yeah, I get like a
Uh-huh.
headache.
Chugrulk and only
but
Chugrulk
that's how I've been
knows
playing.
Right.
this person who's under the effects of this has told a lie, but he doesn't have to react. Doesn't have to tell anyone. Now I know that the sword gets mad and Chugrulk gets uncomfortable.
Correct. So if you fail the zone of truth, you physically cannot tell a lie. You can choose.
That's my question. If you fail it, you can't tell a lie. Okay.
Right, but Ignatius still senses falsehoods whenever they occur.
Okay, that's the sword doing that, not the zone of truth. Okay, that's okay.
Correct. Yeah, Ignatius cannot tolerate untruth.
And the sword always knows when he hears a lie. Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that falls to its sentience as a like a relic class legendary weapon.
Yeah, it's got its own like wisdom, intelligence, and charisma like stats. So.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, do we hear him requesting this?
Eldrick Runeweaver?
Yeah.
Yes, he says this out loud.
Yeah. So that's when when he asks, I just kind of look over like while I'm like just before I draw the sword, I guess.
Yeah.
Confirming that like no one has any like serious concerns.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, most people who understand who Chugrulk is at this point knows who he is, knows that he currently wields the holy sword Ignatius.
Yeah.
That is a fairly well-known fact at this point, that he is the current wielder of Ignatius.
Could I just question Eldrick and see if like he has particular worries about an individual to where he would be making this request?
What do you say to him specifically?
Kind of exactly that. I would just be asking him like, is there a particular person, as this seems like a rather odd request to ask for something like this.
Unfortunately, I don't know whom might be disguising themselves here. We've had a tremendous amount of information leaks, as you've already seen. The only way we can be certain, or mostly certain, of to whom we are speaking is to limit our conversations to the truth and only the truth, lest you simply wish to not speak at all. I hope that is amenable to your group, but I myself have secrets I cannot disclose as a member of the Academy, as I'm sure you all have your own information you're playing close to the chest. And with Queen of Thieves and her ilk, we cannot be careful enough. As you've already seen, she's swindled us all out of directly in front of us, no less. I'd rather limit that as much as possible moving forward.
And who all is here in the room? Can you...
There currently is the four of you, Eldrick, Elias, Petra, and Ansem, and two cloaked officers in the similar colors of the Royal Guard. The no longer the the forest green, but almost like a bluish, like a dark royal blue color, but with the same emblem of the hooded lanterns, but just over a different color. We simply can't be too careful at this point in time.
I'll just nod and say, I understood. Just making sure that we're on the same page with everything.
Of course.
And I'll just
I
shrug
mean-
back at the group.
I don't think I don't think that there's a really an easy way out of that. So
Yeah,
any objection to this is going to sound ridiculous. So
right.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I'll unsheath the sword and, you know, allow it to be used for this.
Bear forth the light, my sword brother, as you bear now the shield and the sword of our sacred father. Let it cast out any lies and falsehoods in the air. Let only the truth shine forth. As you hear the words of Ignatius in your head. The religious dogma ever present in this blade.
Yeah.
Do you all choose to fail the saving throw, or do you want to attempt to fight it?
I'm going to try just to see.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat.
Nope,
Okay.
didn't do it.
You said it was a
20
charisma
charisma.
save, right?
Yep.
DC 20.
Oh,
Well, I'm going to leave mine as not
okay.
enough.
Where's my thing? Hold on.
I'm a supreme liar.
I think I'm going to deliberately fail because I don't really need the headache of dealing with lying while holding
Very
this
well.
blade right now.
Tim, you try
Nice,
and you
dude.
feel the overwhelming pressure of Ignatius. Liar! As it normally just only speaks in Chugrulk's head, but for the first time you hear this daunting, shouting voice in your head. Silence!
You're about like freaking out in the corner.
Almost like an angry judge just like squashing out any attempt at lying.
That's so funny.
Oh my god, that's good. Well, that was unfortunate. So that's why I'm dead. That's what it would have felt like to me, buddy, if I had even tried.
Right. Chugrulk, you know that Eldrick fails. You know that Elias has succeeded and is not under the effects of the Zone of Truth. Petra fails. Ansem very much fails. He's a terrible liar. And the two
Wait,
guards...
who was that just failed?
Ansem and Petra have failed, but Elias has not.
Yeah.
Like, he has succeeded. The two
I'm
guards...
just writing some notes.
The two guards nod to Elias, and they choose to willingly fail.
For the gods.
So everyone has failed in this group with the exception of Elias and
Yeah.
Cedric.
So in the like opposition of myself, it's just a lie.
Correct. Anyway, with the Zone of Truth still active, you all head up to the offices, accompanied by Elias, Eldrick, and the two Royal Guards, or those donned in the former colors of the Royal Guards, but still the Hooded Lanterns, as well as Petra and Ansem Lang, the two lieutenants of the Hooded Lanterns. Well, it's good to see y'all back. I heard you were quite beat up when you arrived at the clock tower from our reports from our scouts in that area. I won't ask for the details. I'll simply get right to the point. I know you're hesitant to share what you might have seen within the castle, but nevertheless, I must ask. What did you see, and what can you disclose? Did you see the crown? Did you see any signs, remains of the royal family? Anybody of note?
Demons from another dimension. It's unsurprisingly very run down. A lot of contamination within the entirety of it. Wasn't anyone just that we spoke to that was recognizable in any sort of way. It seems like that the royal family had all but unfortunately been wiped out, and from what we could find, remains not there.
That's unfortunate. But it's understandable that after 15 years exposed to deep haze, that anything that had survived the initial calamity is all but succumbed to the unnatural effects of the delirium and the haze. Did you see any signs of the seals or perhaps the crown?
I'm not actually lying here. We didn't actually see the crown at all, right?
Are you asking me, like,
And
Above-
no,
as a
fantastic
recap,
comms.
or-
I was thinking the same thing. No, like
Yeah.
I think that's good.
Are you asking me as a
Above the table?
recap? Above the table?
Yeah.
Above-
I'm thinking that we didn't see it. Like the
100%.
wording is important.
Above the table, 100% we did.
We did.
Yes, you 100%
above the
saw
table,
it above the
100%.
table. Yes.
We above the
Oh,
table.
yeah.
I
It was-
at least I did. We saw something that we were pretty sure was it, and I looked very closely because I wanted to know. And whatever I rolled to figure it out, it
Damn it, you
100%
and
was.
being fucking, you, of course you
Okay.
had to know. Of course you
Yeah, I mean, I
Got
had to know. And so I did. So I do know for sure above the
So-
table.
So was it just in the throne room, like from
It
what
was
I'm
on the
guessing?
throne.
Yeah,
was
it
on
was
the throne.
sitting on the cushion of the
Oh, it
throne.
was on the throne itself. Okay.
Yeah, literally on the throne, right underneath where the big spooky monster was. Anyway, the last question he's asking if we saw
Yeah. Is he
um
asking anyone in particular? Sorry, but, like just curious. Is it like this is directed to one person or just the group?
I think
Just the
and I
group.
can answer this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Just wondering if we can duck it from
I'm-
with that situation.
the only seals we know about were the ones that we brought in with us. We did not find any other seals in there. We did find what's his name? I'm blanking on it. The guy
Johann
that-
Eisner.
Johann Eisner. We did find Johann Eisner's spirit, I guess you could call it.
The steward's still alive. Or what's,
Well, I don't know if you can call it alive or not. He certainly was able to communicate with us in some way. He's bound to a pillar that is foundational to the castle itself.
the central pillar.
There's some weird arcane magic going on with that. He was able to communicate with us in some ways, not really conversational. There was a lot of he's got the because he's bound to this pillar, he kind of has a low level of sentience in the castle, it seems like. And so he's able to like influence very small things across the castle, and he was using that to communicate with us to kind of lead us towards him to try and help him. But when we got to him, there was just no way that we would be able to do anything to save him. You know.
But he was willing to assist. He was trying to help you.
Yes, yeah, he
still has his, well, most of his mind, perhaps.
It seemed fragile. That it very well may have been the last that he ever could. I don't know. But I think he is going to try to hold on because he, being bound to this pillar, is able to some way, and I don't really understand this arcane stuff, but there's some way that he would be able to, if we were able to find and attune to the crown and all of the seals together, we would be able to use his help to block away this creature that I guess is the source of the haze. So there's something that can be done that way, but again, I'm not.
The source of the haze.
We don't know.
We did see this portal and this creature. We weren't able to get anywhere near it. The demons that we had fought took a lot out of us. And then we were being led to Johann, and then there was this other creature that we had to deal with before we could get to him, and then at that point we were running low on time, and so we ended up having to leave. But I don't know if this creature is the source of the haze, but this creature is certainly the source of a lot of the corruption inside the castle.
Understood. Master Cedric, do you have a means of a visualization of some kind to show what this creature looks like, so we might be able to devise a countermeasure within the academy if we were to have to deal with it in the future?
Jesus Christ, do I?
Or perhaps, Tim, you might have an illusionary prejudicitation. I can't. That's not Eldrick. That's me.
I can't say that word. I can't say that word.
Prestidigitation. Sorry.
Prestidigitation.
Trying to do it with an accent sucks.
Yeah.
It's hard enough to say that word in my own dialect.
I mean, we don't actually know what the actual creature is at all, right? Like,
no, you don't.
Okay.
No.
From looking at it, this is above the table again. We all know above the table that it's the king, right?
No, you don't know where the source of this thing is.
Oh, okay.
You're not 100% sure, to be honest.
Okay, I thought in my head it was like it had like the face of the king or something still, like the queen that we found a long time ago. Kind of was like
you saw
the
heavily deformed face of someone.
Yeah. Okay.
Within the creature, but you noticed what you did see is that a part of the creature was coming through that vortex from some other dimension, plane of existence, something. You're not 100% certain, though, whether or not this is the king, was the king, or has simply absorbed the king. You're not sure.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
You don't even know if that was the king. You just saw
Yeah.
some sort of, you saw remains in multiple locations as a part of this entity known as the amalgamation.
Yeah, it could have been anybody.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Sorry for that confusion.
No, you're fine.
All good. That was my assumption, not anything else.
If it's not within your capabilities, just a detailed description might serve us as a means of trying to determine what this might be for some of the higher archmages or even the directorate if they're willing to assist. But that is questionable without beneficial factors at play. And as Eldrick says that, Tim, you understand. You're up until recently, you knew of the directorate, the controlling body of the Amethyst Academy, but you've never met a single member of the directorate. They're like the shadow of a shadow government with regards to the academy. You know so little about them that other than just that they are the directorate and that they run the academy. You don't know how many of them there are. You don't know who they are or where they are. But you know of the directorate.
The damn Illuminati.
Pretty much. It's like the equivalent of that. But I can certainly try to pull some strings if I have a bit more information that if you're willing to share.
I don't see why we can't share the information that we do have about what the creature is.
And just for narrative sakes, you don't have to try to recap every single detail, but do you try to... In fact, give me... We'll roll this to see how... Because I think that'd be more fun. Give
to
me,
see how good of the courtroom sketch we get.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Give me an intelligence check. I think this would just be a straight intelligence roll. To see how much you remember. How many details you can pick up.
Holy shit.
Would anyone like to assist as you watch Cedric struggle heavily to remember what this creature was?
It was traumatic. It was traumatic.
It was very traumatic.
Was it? It's a save or
intelligence check.
Yeah.
Just so roll a d20 and add your intelligence modifier.
Well, mine's -2 also, I think.
No, your intelligence is your highest stat.
I'm tired. I'm on the wrong sheet. I'm tired. Sorry. Yeah, here
I was
we go.
about to say, I was like, intelligence is your highest stat. Okay. You don't get a lot of the finer details, but you would pick up on the fact that this thing was coming through a massive portal behind it in front of the throne, directly over the pillar, and that this thing had attached itself to the actual walls of the throne room, and that it was essentially it had absorbed the remains of whomever was in that throne room at the time. Or remains of bodies that were left in the throne room, for that matter. Let's see. That's a bit unnerving. But it wouldn't be the first time that I've encountered extra-dimensional entities, and from what I've heard from you, Tim, it's not the first time that your entourage has encountered extra-dimensional intruders in this place. It seems that the veil between some of these regions are growing thinner by the day, As delirium seems to hinder the laws of reality in places, or outright break them. But I will take this information and see what I can surmise in the coming days. Oh. That's, I'd have to agree with Eldrick. That's a bit concerning, but correct my memory if I'm wrong. Did you say that you saw, did anybody say that they saw the crown? As Eldrick kind of looks again and asks the same question.
No. No.
So you speak forward, Cedric, and say flat out, no, you did not see the crown.
Oh, no. I thought you meant just like, did anyone actually mention it? But no, Giorgio seemed to keep it intentionally vague and immediately.
I
talked
answered,
about
I answered everything about that question except for the crown part.
Correct.
I alluded to it being missing by disguising it amongst the other the seals that we were also trying to see if we could find. But no, I didn't say directly. I think Benji, you didn't say directly, no? I thought that you did.
I didn't say anything about the crown, no.
Okay. Well, Eldrick or Elias asks, again more directly, did anyone see the crown of Westmar?
I'll pipe in and just say, no, we weren't able to find the crown or get it in our possessions.
As Cedric says this, Chugrulk, you get it like a tinge of pain in your mind. Lies, and by a cleric, no less lies.
I do want to go back and see if we can find it. I mean, we ran out of time at Oxwicksburg. We had to leave. But there's a lot of the castle we did not get to look at.
You say this out loud to the group?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. With Cedric's input and your statement, Giorgio, give me a deception check with advantage.
Okay. Part of why I'm speaking of is to draw attention away from Chugrulk, because I'm sure. He is possibly reacting physically. Rolling 2. Oof. That's a 9.
So
and
I'm trying to mask it as best as possible, but yeah.
For deception, I've got +2, so that's an 11 total.
11 total.
Not great.
Elias just nods and says, understood. It's disappointing, but without the seals, it really is kind of a moot point. And we know at least where the majority of those lie at this point in time, which leads me to my next suggestion. The longer we wait, the longer that she's going to have to plan her next assault on this barracks, and the longer she has to plan, the more time she has to infiltrate and stab us in the back. So I say we take the fight to her.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
Directly to her.
Of course. Right into the heart of her organization. You all have been there. Perhaps not in the every nook and cranny, but enough that we could plan our incursion around that knowledge. My thought was we take a larger contingent force to stir shit up a little bit, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
While your group sneaks in and tries to find the remaining seals. we won't have very long, considering we have amassed a decent enough force with the reputation we've gained in the past weeks with your assistance. But there's no telling what their organization in the last 10 to 15 years has managed to muster up. And we all know they don't fight fair. So, if we can at least offer up a distraction while you all delve deeper into the heart of their organization and try to look for the seals, I think that would be the most prudent method in a short period of time. Thoughts? Concerns? I'm all ears.
My only concern is that we don't actually know where these seals are that she has taken. They might not even be in her lair? Cave? I don't know what we want to call it. Clubhouse?
It was called out as the Court of Thieves.
Okay.
Is what you remember it being discussed as. That was the basically that underground bar that led to the private fighting pit. But that bar you went through and you had to pass through the
curtain or whatever.
Right, the curtain of quote unquote poison. The poison gas, and then
the fog or whatever.
Yeah, and then you passed through and there was that sort of assembly area before you went further down into the private fighting pits where you fought the Queen's champion. Yeah.
What was I can't remember the name.
Oh, it was
Big
Linda. Yeah, Big Linda.
Big Linda, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Big Linda.
Linda.
Linda. Big Linda that couldn't re-roll to get her breath weapon off.
Yeah.
Now,
that's certainly a bold decision.
Sometimes you have to be a bit bold in a time of desperation. At this point, Eldrick speaks up again. I imagine that well, I'll be perfectly frank. I'm fairly certain, based on the tactics and the high-level arcane implements that this individual has shown, this Queen of Thieves, that they were formally trained by the Academy at some point. And that severely dwindles down the potential identity of this individual.
Mm-hmm.
Given their bold statements in the cathedral and your encounters following that, I feel confident in saying that it's likely only one of two people that could be masquerading as this Queen of Thieves. The only two members of the royal family that were not present during the calamity were young Katerina and her sister, given the experience I had with the two young sisters, both of them considered mageborn and not suitable to sit on the throne of Drakenheim, per the Edicts of Lumen. My guess is that if I was a gambling man, it would be young Katarina. What's so funny?
I just clicked into Discord and saw the amateur sketch that Benji posted.
God damn it.
The fucking leprechaun. I'm sorry. I just saw it.
Is it from that fucking meme video of the leprechaun?
I just
Everybody must see the
I just don't
leprechaun
know where
say
to go with
yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it, amateur sketch.
Yeah.
I knew it. I fucking knew exactly what video you were talking about. Okay,
Yep.
amateur sketch.
Oh man.
Everybody see the
I
leprechaun say yeah.
I legitimately think about that every single day of my life.
I love the leprechaun flute too, the little PVC pipe.
Yep.
Yeah,
This is my family heirloom and the leprechaun flute. God damn it.
Oh man.
Anyway. We can't be 100% certain, but the potential suspects are narrow to say the least. And Giorgio, as you recall, and you recall the name Katarina, you've seen every member of the royal family growing up.
Right.
You didn't see the two young daughters of the former King Ulrich very often, but you don't forget the face of a royal, especially when you're around the castle as much as you were. They weren't there as much as the eldest son, but you do recall the two young sisters. In the few times that they would come home for the holidays or summertime, you knew that the two young girls were not present in the castle because they were they couldn't hold noble title given the fact that they were mageborn, meaning they were born to magical blood. So per the Edicts of Lumen, they could never truly sit on the throne of Drakenheim. But you begin to recall, and you feel fairly certain as well, given the build, the hair, the demeanor. You seem to corroborate what Eldrick is saying as well, that you feel fairly confident that Katarina is this Queen of Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
And given her wealth of knowledge about you in particular is concerning and pushes you towards that conclusion as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm sorry, what was the name of the other person? Sorry.
I'm sorry. I have it in my notes. I'm sorry. I always forget. It's I don't remember
That's fine.
the,
I was just
the
gonna
other.
add it, so
Yeah,
if she's not super important, then it's fine.
she is. I forget the name. I'm sorry. I will find it and post it. Post editing Stopper has to figure that one out. So yeah, fuck future
Okay.
me. That guy sucks. Yeah, fuck that guy in particular. But I will post that later.
Just
I want to say,
curious.
I keep thinking it's Eliza, something that keeps popping into my head. I don't know if it's 100% right though. So we'll just go with
Okay.
that for the time being. GM can't remember his own fucking character names. But yes. If we operate under that strong assumption, then I can say that Perhaps we can assume that this capable mage operates under normal tactics in regards to things they hold dear. As Eldrick turns to you, Tim, what would you say, Tim, as far as your tools of the trade, your implements? You tend to keep those pretty close to yourself, wouldn't I say? Wouldn't that be correct?
I would agree.
As would any capable mage. Their spell book, their staff, their arcane implements. Without them, we're essentially handicapped. So I'd say that it's a strong assumption that this Queen of Thieves likely operates under the same principles. I doubt they'd want these seals wandering off by some random mugger or a thief of, opportunistic nature. Especially in an area like the Court of Thieves. Somebody getting the wrong idea and walking off with something they don't fully understand. So where else to hide something of tremendous value but close by, where you have them at an arm's reach? Long story short, I would say the likelihood that those seals are close to the Queen of Thieves or within her personal effects is highly likely. And even if they aren't, at least we can find useful information about their whereabouts. I'd have to agree on that one. If I'm looking to hide something, I'd try to hide it in plain sight or keep it close by where I can keep an eye on it. Hence why I always kept my seal on my person unless, for whatever reason, it needed to be removed.
Out of character, I mean, I doubt it. It's just I'm just taking a stab at things, trying to think things out. How common is I have it. How common is like a bag of holding? It's just like something that like anyone can basically have.
It's an uncommon item, so it's not like the most common magic item. It's not like a, like spell components and things like that. It's technically an uncommon item, but most mages are familiar with a bag of holding, so it's not like the most rare item, in the arcane spectrum. I would say it's closer to run of the mill than like rare items like your staff.
Gotcha. Okay.
As this conversation is going on, Chugrulk, you in particular, you get another ping within the zone of truth. An entity of high enough intelligence has succeeded, but you don't see anyone else in the room. But you get a ping that someone has succeeded within the zone of truth.
Just now.
Just now.
Is he back from? He talked about that someone was knocking at his door.
Sorry, yeah, it's alright. Yeah, I am back. I just
Okay.
completely like had someone again coming through just there. So can you just repeat that last part?
So
Just
you get a sudden ping within the zone of truth that so the spell states that, you know, if somebody enters the zone of truth, they must succeed on the charisma save, or or you know, and you know immediately if they succeed or fail. You don't see anyone else in this room, but you get a ping that someone has succeeded against the zone of truth.
Right.
But you don't see another presence other than those you've been speaking with.
Yeah, so I'm assuming someone's not visible to me. Dear. How close is the nearest person that I can see to me?
I would imagine you're standing amongst your companions.
Yeah, yep. So like we're in a pretty like tight knit group.
Yeah, it's a small enough room. It's like a war table, so you see like a map of the city with various, you know, markers for, you know, strategic points. You know, you know, like a war table. There's probably about a dozen or so chairs of this long old oak table. Elias is at the end of the table opposite your group. And you see Eldrick is kind of at a 2 or 3 o'clock from your current position on the opposite side of the table. If you're assuming it like a clock face. And then Petra and Ansem are directly on your side of the table, closer to Elias at that end of the table. And the 4 of you, I would imagine, are either, you know, at the other end of the table, kind of discussing, kind of facing each other from opposite sides of the table at like 5 and 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what kind of worries me. Obviously, like if there's someone that I've got like no sight of, I'm kind of trying to like maybe I guess like I'll just say it over the table to start with, but like basically I want to like maybe warn my companions that we shouldn't have our backs out, kind of thing.
And there's also the 2 guards that are standing on either side of Elias, that have not really moved. They're just standing there observing. But you were already aware of them. They accompanied you in here, and they both chose to fail.
Yeah, yeah.
This is an entirely new entity.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, so that's why I'm like, I think like after that has now happened, like I don't know how long it's been here, and it might have just been it might have just finally stepped inside. Like I said, I'm concerned now. Basically, that's kind of what I want to like alert the others to. I don't really want to be too obvious about it, but I do definitely want to subtly like alert people to be a little bit more on guard.
Give me either a performance or a deception check, your choice. As you try to alert your companions.
Oh.
You all kind of see. I mean, you describe it to me, Chugrulk. How do you go about alerting your companions to this sudden presence that you sense?
Well, like I say, I can't like know like what kind of gesture, but I feel like we've been in enough of these spots like by now that I'd probably just like make a simple gesture that maybe we need to like be a little bit more careful right now, like some that we might have dealt with in the inn, if you know what I mean. The whole vibe of I'm not sure what's going on, but something's not right.
Yeah. Tim, Georgio, Cedric, you all see this kind of subtle gesture from your companion. Well. question is, how do we want to proceed? And when? My recommendation is as soon as possible, as we can gather our forces. And as soon as you all find yourselves prepared and resupplied, rested. We don't have to discuss the finalized details today, but I believe a decision needs to be made as to whether or not this plan proceeds as I've generally described. Any thoughts? Concerns? Alternative ideas?
Not one I got.
Not from me.
No. No objections.
No objection.
Very well. I'll call upon everyone in due time so we can discuss further details and timing. I would recommend, under any such discussions moving forward, that we do it in the presence of the Holy Sword in order to inhibit any wandering eyes and loose lips and keep conversations to a minimum amongst yourselves. But we're sort of reaching a break point here where something needs to be accomplished or our enemies will force our hand. Georgio.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're not on the best of terms at this point in time, but I simply want you to know that I operate in the best interest of this city and its people. Our best circumstance would be to still to have you take your rightful place upon the throne of Drakenheim. Or at worst, see that no other ill will takes that authority. And I'll do everything in my power to see that that happens.
Mm.
I know I've wronged you, but everything I've done was in the service of this city, but I'll have to atone one day for what I've done to you and your family. But I want you to know. Pardon?
Above the table, is the sword still out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the zone of truth is still up.
Okay. You keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yep. But I can't see this Queen of Thieves, whomever that might be, sitting upon the throne. I made a mistake of trusting them once. I won't make that mistake again.
If I talk about what I think about what you just said, it will not be pretty. So I'm not going to say anything else. This is not a conversation we should be having with people around.
Elias just nods. He can see your reservation and simply nods. We'll re-adjourn at a later time. Eldrick, appreciate you coming along. Ansem, Petra, with me, as he turns to exit the room with his lieutenants. The two guards step aside on either side of the doorway. Eldrick stays behind, giving a nod over to you, Tim, wishing to have a more detailed discussion with you after the meeting adjourns.
I guess.
Is there anything else you all in the group would like to discuss before the officers of the Hooded Lantern step out of the room and everyone kind of goes their separate ways for the time being?
Not for me.
For me.
No.
As you all exit the offices of the Hooded Lanterns and head back down to the courtyards, you feel the zone of truth fade as Ignatius is sheathed. Chugrulk, you hear the sword quiet down as you head out into the open air of the courtyard of the barracks. Tim, you feel the hand of Eldrick rest upon your shoulder. I'd like to hear a bit more in detail, if you wouldn't mind, Tim, about what you saw within the castle. It's been some time. Yes, Tim, I'd like to speak with you about it. Do you mind if we...
Sorry, that's so fucking
Gulp.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, sure.
If I might borrow your companion, gentlemen.
You have at it.
Of course, just be careful with what you say.
Of course.
Okay, bye guys, bye.
Eldrick walks with you. He stays within the courtyard, but kind of walking to and from pockets of Hooded Lantern, uniformed Hooded Lanterns, and over by the blacksmith, kind of allowing the white noise of the blacksmith's hammers to kind of cover up any, or kind of shield any surrounding ears from overhearing what he's about to speak with you about, Tim. I can only imagine what you might have seen within the castle, but I believe you understand when you retook your oath to join the academy that it incorporated the sharing of information, specifically those pertaining to the arcane in this area, Tim.
Right.
Would you be able to disclose a bit more about what you saw in the castle? It would certainly assist us in building a battle plan moving forward. Were we to have to force our way in. As you know, knowledge is vital to any effort.
Okay. Let's see. Trying to remember everything that went down. What was the name of the dragon? What was the name of that dragon?
Oh, Mitazoron.
And they know, did they know about that guy, right, or no?
You're not 100% sure.
Okay,
But
well, I'll explain that. That works. That's a start.
so the Clockwork Dragon is still up and running, I see. That was a gift from the Directorate to the Von Kessels many, many decades ago. One of the primary guardians of the castle. It's a wonder you succeeded in bypassing him.
Yeah, we were right. I stopped him. Right, I was able to stop him with because I have the staff. I was able to stop him.
Yeah, between you and Cedric, you were temporarily able to halt the dragon before he broke free of the will of the seals.
Yeah, we were able to stop the dragon from coming after us, luckily, for us to get enough time to get into the castle.
So the defenses of the castle seem to be fully operational, just a bit outside the control of any one individual.
Yeah, still in full swing. And we got into the lower area. There was a what's it called? Gravekeeper? What was that thing?
The Gravekeeper. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. There's this thing called the Gravekeeper in the basement. We were able to take care of that thing, but that was really rough too.
I see. But you said that entity has been subdued permanently.
Been a while. We did kill that thing, right?
Yes, you did.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm just like, yeah, we were able to kill it. Yeah, that was really rough.
And you stated that the steward, or what remains of the steward, is somehow bound to the castle.
Yeah, it was in the basement where we were.
At the primary pillar.
Yeah.
Gruesome fate. But impressive that he's maintained his, well, some semblance of his humanity. And about this entity, this extra-dimensional entity, I'm sure you're all too familiar with those, given your studies many years prior. You were always very enamored with the extra-dimensional spaces.
He's referring to which one?
The amalgamation.
Yeah, okay.
So this entity, it's completely bound itself within a portion of the castle.
That's right.
And what about the entrances to the castle? What about Are there alternative means besides the front gates? Is there potential for less combative entry points within to the castle?
God, how did we get out of the castle?
Like a stellar tunnel from the kitchen.
Correct. Through one of the wellways, one of the
Yeah.
like kind of like the one of the sewer chutes.
It
Okay.
put us out like behind the castles.
Yeah,
Like
into
the
the cliff
back side
face.
of the wall where like the forest is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we got out of the castle through something through the kitchens. I mean, that is a possibility because I don't want to go through the front door again, especially with that damn dragon around. I don't think the same trick's gonna work on him twice.
I imagine the dragon's not the only thing guarding that front entrance. Our Academy scouts have noticed other entities crawling about the garden areas as well. Gargoyles on the walls, of course, throughout the city and then the castle walls themselves. It's concerning. And teleportation into the deep haze is all but impossible. You said you were down in the depths of the crypts and the foundations of the castle itself. Did you find anything else of value or worth in that area? I know your group said you didn't spot the crown, but was there anything else pertaining to the academy deep within the depths of the castle?
On the table, guys. Am I ratting out the magic carpet? I mean, that's really the only thing I want to talk
They're
about.
alone, brother.
Yeah, fuck.
I mean, you know, you found a glimmering helm down there covered in jewels and things of that nature, which you still haven't identified. And you also found a whole bunch of documentation concerning the Amethyst Academy, deals that had not been fully fulfilled by the Academy in the service of the nobility. Like contracts and things of that nature that probably had more value than any of the gold or jewels or other artifacts within that vault.
Didn't we also get that shield that looked like a bowl? Wasn't that the shield for
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Or for Ignatius?
Right. Yeah, you were the demons were using it as a fruit bowl.
Yeah.
That's right.
As like a serving dish. Yeah.
So I don't know if that would be relevant, but just so that we know what it was.
Right.
In there.
You know that was the
was it
shield of Saint Vitruvio.
Saint Vitruvio, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the holy relics of Saint Vitruvio.
All right. So I'll tell him about the paperwork. I'll tell him about the helm, the shield that we found in the magic carpet.
That sounds like exchanges of great worth to the Academy. We were able to gather those. That's the true wealth of the Von Kessels. those contracts that the Academy owes to the royal family. Tim, give me an insight check.
Okay.
You see on Eldric's face, like a look of, like an unusual look of, like, scheming, and just, you catch it for only a moment, but it seems atypical of his character. He's usually either completely silent about things or is, you know, things that he doesn't wish to disclose, or just completely, if he has nothing worth disclosing, just remains really stoic and silent. This is an unusual glimpse at a body language you've not seen before. Very well. Tim, I'll be on my way. I have more business to conduct. I'm expected to meet with River to discuss with one of the teams coming to and fro to the inscrutable tower shortly. But this information has been very helpful. I'll disclose it with Elias once we've had time to discuss a more prudent battle plan. An entry point into the castle in the future.
Sounds like a plan.
We'll stay in touch. And you watch as he begins to walk out through the western portcullis gate till he vanishes from view. In that time period, Tim, you see your companions, as this is going on, Chugrulk, Cedric, and Georgio, what have you been doing? I would say about maybe 20 or 30 minutes have passed during this private conversation between Tim and Eldric. What have you three been doing? Or what would you like to do?
I'm going to try to secure more Aqua Spurgo.
Okay.
Preferably enough for the group, but definitely enough for me.
You can see that on the other side of the courtyard, closer to one of the other portcullis gates, you spot a group of Academy mages, including a familiar blue-haired, red-skinned tiefling woman, River, has arrived at the opposite side of the barracks. Your general contact when dealing with your arcane needs for items and things of that nature, from your past dealings, if you'd like to discuss with her your need for Aqua Expurgo or any other arcane implements or spells, scrolls, things of that nature.
Yeah, I would just keep it at Aqua Spurgo, and I would I'd keep it vague for its use. I mean, I think that she would have a pretty good idea with the haze seemingly expanding at this point, that having it is better than not. But I wouldn't tell or disclose things related to going into the thieves, or the court of thieves.
Yes, of course. the Aqua Expurgo, for you all, we've developed a means of mass producing it, so it's not as expensive as it has been prior to, but it'll be about 200 gold a piece per dosage.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
We might should get 2.
Yeah, I'll take 2 and then purchase an additional 2 for Tim since he's not here for all of this.
My man.
Very well. We'll have those delivered to you post haste. We have a supply coming in here shortly. It's amongst those carriages that's on the way here. As she nods over to a series of carriages, you see of which there's large crates that kind of have a glowing sort of dim light to them. You can see that amongst them there are a similar number of those, or a similar size to the spheres that you yourselves used against the Lord of the Feast, and then those that were threatened to be used against you in the Cathedral of St. Vitruvio. These are the essentially delirium bombs, if you will, or small, similar to, what is it called? Sorry. It is... Let me find it here. Here we go. Expurgo, where is it? It is a bottled comet, is what it's called.
Bottled comet?
Oh man, I love that thing. We used that before.
You like what you see, Tim?
Oh, yeah.
Those are something the Academy's been whipping up in order to better utilize the latent potential of the smaller slivers of delirium that we found about the ruins. As Eldrick comes in from behind River in one of the carriages, inspecting some of the shipments. And as you hear his voice, you suddenly get this sort of moment of deja vu as Eldrick steps up to greet the four of you.
Wait, what was that? Can you repeat that?
You get a strong sense of unnerving deja vu as Eldrick steps up beside. He's got a clipboard in his hand as he's going through some of the carriage inventory alongside River.
All right. Okay.
And Tim, you specifically, it causes you to flip around and do a double take of, wait a minute.
We still have a bunch of stuff that we got, the stuff that he was just talking to Eldrick about, but I don't know if I wasn't paying close enough attention if we explained everything that we found, but I have in my notes 35,000 gold worth of precious metals, a bunch of gems and stuff like that. Do we
the stuff that you found in the vaults of the yeah,
is that stuff safe to just offload? Is this Fallout where I can sell someone $1 million worth of stuff?
I would say that would be difficult to fence right now, especially since a lot of those precious metals and jewels probably are more recognizable coming from the vaults. But I would say in smaller dosages, they wouldn't be as noticeable.
Okay.
I wouldn't say you could offload all of it at once.
But if we're careful, I mean, we can buy.
Yes.
We can toss out a couple chunks of metal for.
Yeah, I could say you could
gold, so we could buy the things.
Right. I could say you would be able to barter your way through as long as you didn't try to fence the whole lot at once. Otherwise, I would say even the most dull-minded individual will become a little suspicious of why you're wandering around with that kind of scratch on yourselves and where you got it. But as this conversation's going on, Tim, you're severely unnerved by the sudden reappearance of Eldrick. You watched him exit through another portcullis gate and immediately show up here, not but a moments later. And it strikes you as extremely odd.
You got here quick. What the hell?
I don't know what you mean, Tim. I just arrived. I was invited by Elias not but a day ago. We were supposed to have some sort of meeting today to discuss. Is that still going on?
Hey, guys. I think we got a problem. And I kind of like explained the conversation I had with this fuck-ass doppelganger. Fucking bastard.
Is there something we should be concerned of?
You're not concerned about fake you?
Yeah.
Eldrick looks at you with legitimate concern. Care to elaborate on what you mean?
I was just talking to you like 20 minutes ago.
Tim, I haven't seen you in nearly 3 or 4 days.
Right, okay, sorry. That's why I'm confused, because I thought okay. Sorry, I said that I relayed what happened. Sorry.
Okay.
I guess that's what I mean. Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, I didn't know if you were speaking that to your companions or if you were saying that to Eldrick.
No, I just say, yeah, I just figured it's easier just to say, like, hey, no, sorry, I fucking totally talked to a doppelganger posing as him. Yeah.
Well, seems our conversations or even our most obvious representatives are not so obvious. Where's Elias? We need to have a conversation now.
That's not a truth for anybody.
Might I recommend that the 4 of you stay well enough away from everyone else for the time being. I'm going to go have a deep conversation with the commander.
You okay?
While this is going on, is there anything else that you all need to acquire, discuss? River's here, and you can see that these carriages are full of goods, some of which could potentially be bartered for. And of course, she has her services for spell scrolls and things of that nature as well.
Is Eldrick still here?
No, you can see he's swiftly walking towards any of the large gatherings of Hooded Lantern soldiers or Hooded Lantern rangers going to discuss trying to find Elias as quickly as possible. Like visibly annoyed by what just transpired.
I'll hand Tim my two of the Aqua Aspergo, and I'll just ask if he can purchase some health things for me.
Yeah, I got you.
And that's all I need.
Yeah, and then you can see there are a variety of health potions, greater, superior, typical health potions. They range from 50 gold apiece for the cheapest to 400 for the superior, and 200 for the greater.
I'll ask Tim if he can go ahead and buy some of the greater ones. That way it's just even trade.
Yeah, I'll buy you two. I got you.
Boop.
Okay. So
I
it's,
have any potions left.
yeah, 2 greater would be 400 gold total. You also see among the bottled comets, you see some other smaller vials of an octarine liquid, almost like a powder, if you will, more so, almost like a candy dust, like you'd see for like what were those candy sticks you dip the powder in, like
Fun dip.
Fun dip, thank you.
Fun dip.
Yeah, it almost has like a fun dip type consistency of it. Those are a more refined version of Aqua Delirium. I wouldn't take more than one in a short period of time, though, but it will give you a little arcane boost should you need it in combat. So essentially, when you drink the potion, you regain expended spell slots. You roll 1d6, and you choose spell slots to regain that have a combined level that equal what you roll.
I apparently I have two. I already have one.
Oh,
I have
really?
2 of them actually in my inventory. Yep.
Yeah, they've essentially mass-produced these. But if
How
you
much are
consume
the bottled comments?
the bottled comets are 350 gold apiece.
All right, I'll take one.
Okay. You can add that to your inventory. But yeah, if you take the Aqua Delirium, I think you have it in your inventory already, Tim. It is, if you take more than one before you take a long rest, you will basically trigger an arcane anomaly on the random table. And there may be other negative effects, including some damage sustained and potential contamination. Let's see. What you also see in a crate is a small, it's like a very smooth silvered rod within one of the crates. That seems to have, that you notice, Cedric, has a holy symbol upon it of the sacred flame. There seems to be some just random junk, but you spot this one as it kind of draws your attention because you've seen this before. This is what some of the clerics and members of the Silver Order were using to purge contamination. This is an item known as a purging rod. So essentially,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it says once per day while holding this rod, you can use an action to purge contamination. Basically, cast purge contamination. After casting the spell, you roll a d20. On a 1, the rod melts into sludge.
Whoa, okay.
So it has a chance every time you use it to break.
Got it. I'm gonna ask where she ended up getting that, because it doesn't seem to be something that I would see her lot have this, deep in.
Well, we did come across a few battered corpses on the way here, and couldn't let some of the better items go to waste. It didn't seem to be doing much sitting on a half-eaten body, so I just happened to snatch it up and throw it in with some of the other goods in case of future use. If you're interested, it's certainly for sale.
I'd say I am interested, and with all due respect, it's a matter of higher power than what, no offense, your kind of the non-piet sort should really have.
She gives you a slick grin. Give me a persuasion check. I appreciate the try. I'll give you a bit of a discount.
Oh, it's success then.
Just because I think you're funny. 1,200 gold and it's yours.
Dude, she likes you.
Do you accept IOUs?
Afraid not.
You have 200 gold.
I mean, your
Do
group, your group does.
Yeah. We have at least 35,000 gold collectively in precious metals. So I mean, it's did we just sell that real quick?
I was
or
gonna
trade it to her.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I have 900 on me right now after buying stuff. I'm like, I don't know about this 35,000, but you're right. In the shit we have, you're right.
Yeah,
I can't wait to split that shit.
Our net value.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just
It's what
If you need to-
investors
if you
must
need to
feel
walk
like.
away
You're
and
like,
do
wait,
so-
do I
and
actually
do
have
something real
millions?
quick.
Where is that?
Yeah, I'll just ask if she can make a trade for items, or if
Do you show her
Gold
some of
is
the
really
stuff
what
you're
you're
trying
looking for.
to fence?
not nearly any of it, just something of the like.
She kind of eyes it over, looking over some of the precious metals, a few of the stones set in platinum, some of the finery. I think that looks adequate. I think we can.
So we have a
I think we have a deal. As she wraps up the precious metals and stones, some of the jewelry, up in some cloth, and then shoves it deep into her bag. It's all yours.
Thank you.
So you can add a purging rod to your inventory.
Oh, and I don't need to attune to it. Cool.
Nope. It is just an uncommon item. It can be used once per day to cast Purge Contamination, and then every time you use it,
It can melt.
Yeah, there's a potential 1d20 chance that it melts and is no longer.
Can't wait for it to happen on the first roll.
Them's the breaks. As this exchange is going on and you're discussing some of the healing items as well as the bottle comets and things of that nature, you see Elias and Eldrick return, each of them kind of more sour than you saw previously. We have a problem. It seems someone impersonating yours truly intervened in our discussions. So consider anything and all things that were said in that meeting up for grabs. You see in his hand, Tim, there's a piece of parchment, and you see some notes with regards to detected forms of magic within that office. You see a high-level note about dominate person. You see another one about a spell called seeming, and a spell called, or a some other high level magic that is listed as unidentified. But you see it under the School of Illusionary Magic in the brief glance you see on his notes. So now you feel fairly certain that the Eldrick you had a conversation with was not, in fact, Eldrick Runeweaver.
Jeez, I wonder who it could be.
Smeldrick Duneweaver.
Got him.
Got him.
Fuck that
Oh,
guy.
the same fucking chameleon fucking looking ass that fucked us over all those many
long time
sessions
ago.
Yeah.
Or the Queen of Thieves. I don't know.
Or it could be or a number of other people.
Mm-hmm.
This place is full of shady individuals.
But you see Elias look at you all. I think this expedites our plans if the Queen of Thieves knows that we're coming. But I don't think it changes very much. I still recommend that we force their hand as soon as possible. Either way, without all the seals, either we go to them or they come to us. Quite frankly, I'd rather go in fighting on my own terms than wait to be attacked and stabbed in my back.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't force you all to do the same. So I ask that you contemplate what you want to do, and we proceed from there. But moving forward, I would assume any conversation we had prior is all but exposed. But
Did we
go
ask
ahead.
any questions that are based around his identity, or when we fucking put up the you know, impenetrable truth fortress situation. Like that's
Whose identity?
like the one that we seem to have mistaken, right? Or was that not Eldrick? Or am I like confusing the two?
All you know
No,
is that you saw Eldrick Runeweaver and that they failed the
Oh, that was what
the
that
saving
was. Okay,
throw.
right.
Yeah, they failed the
Yeah,
saving
now I
throw,
know.
but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean they spoke to whether or not that was true. They truly were.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's alright.
Because you can be in a zone of truth, but you don't have to.
Still have to.
You don't
yeah,
have to
I know.
speak as long as you don't speak lies.
Yeah, that's why I was like I said, like when I got that whole thing, I thought like someone in stealth, but like you said, it could have just been someone not. Yeah.
Yeah, and you felt a
Yeah,
presence enter the area and succeed, but you didn't see anyone.
Yeah. Okay. Make sure I've got everything clear.
So, with all that in mind and a very strange, concerning situation amongst what you thought was a private meeting, you have some choices to make as to what you choose to do from here on. Without all the seals, an incursion on the castle is all but unnecessary. You can choose to wait and be at the whims of your adversary, or you can choose to force their hand. Or you can come up with a new solution. That's up to you. But nevertheless, without all the seals of the city, obtaining the crown and attuning to it is unnecessary, if not entirely useless. Or delivering the seals. Without the seals, you cannot deliver the full power of the city's defenses to the former steward to attempt to seal off the encroachment of these extra-dimensional entities. So whatever you choose to do is up to you at this point in time. And I think we'll go ahead and end things there. And you guys can decide between now and the next session what you choose to do.